Now, obviously, the star of the show is gonna be the meat. We're gonna start with this beautiful pork shoulder, bone in, okay? I've let this sit out in room temperature for about an hour, salted it. It's getting up to temp before we sear it on the stove top. And I'm gonna get my liquid started for this braise. Now, in my crock pot here, I've got some carrots. I don't know if you can see that. I got some carrots, some celery, some garlic, some onions. We're gonna toss this on and just get this going. A little bit of olive oil. We'll salt that in just a second. We're gonna get our mixture for, actually this belongs over here. What am I doing? We're gonna get our mixture and liquid going. We're gonna start with some pineapple juice. Got some soy sauce, some Worcestershire sauce. We got some dried guajillo peppers. We're gonna have some lime juice. We're gonna put some bay leaves in there, 1 to 2 star anise, some celery seed, and some cinnamon sticks. We're gonna put cinnamon in the rub as well. This will get us going with just the liquid stock, which reminds me, we need stock. And look at that, I got my stock right here, just in time to stir this stuff. Just gonna brown it a little bit. I'm gonna toss a little salt in there as well. Keep it simple. So, I'm using beef bone broth as the baseline, and then all this other stuff, which is gonna complement the spices we're gonna mix up for this pork. So just so we can follow along, this is gonna be 4 cups of liquid. We're gonna put the whole thing in. We're gonna put most of this. I'm just gonna transfer it into this so we can visualize the change. There we go. That's about 2 3/4 cups, and I've got about, a 1/4 cup of pineapple juice left, which we're gonna make a cocktail with that. Check the other video out, or it's in the video description, the cocktail that I'm gonna make with that pineapple juice. We pour in some soy sauce here. Move that out of the way. You know what, we can do the Worcestershire at the same side. Look at this, two-handed. Oh, but we're about done. And I'm eyeballing this. There, count the seconds. That's how many seconds. Got our limes here. Just gonna juice these limes in. I got 4 big limes. If you're using key limes, you probably need about 52. Now, I think our veggies are starting to brown a little bit, so we're gonna put the broth in. Again, this is gonna be an amazing baseline for our braised liquid. Now I'm gonna pour in our little citrus concoction, our citrusy salt concoction. Off to the side, bring that up to a boil. And while that's boiling, I didn't even put the lime juice. You didn't tell me to put the lime juice in. I almost missed that. All right, now the lime juice is in. Okay. Now here I've got 1 cup of brown sugar, which I packed in. We've got about a 1/4 cup of chili pepper, 1/4 cup of onion, powdered onion. And now I'm going to grind up in here about a tablespoon of fennel seed. Okay, oop. I'm pro. Now I was gonna use cardamom pods, but my wife is making some chai and she got fresh cardamom seeds. So I'm putting in about a teaspoon of fresh cardamom seeds. Okay, shift this all off to the side. Some pepper flakes, about a tablespoon of pepper flakes, red pepper flakes. I like things to have a little bit of a kick to it. You'll see with the salsa. And then everything else we're gonna mix, this is all powders, we're gonna mix into that. So I'm just gonna grind this up really fast. It doesn't need to be a fine powder, but if you have a spice grinder, this will be fine. Spice grind it up. And that cardamom, oh my goodness, makes this kitchen smell amazing. Move this off to the side. All right, folks, this is where we eyeball. Got some paprika. We're gonna do about a tablespoon of paprika. Got a tablespoon of turmeric. Got a teaspoon of cayenne. Got a tablespoon of coriander. Got, oh, I don't need garlic powder. What was that doing there? I don't know. Got a tablespoon of cinnamon. And it's cooking. It's starting to steam. About a teaspoon of ginger powder. And a tablespoon of mustard seed powder. All right. Move it all to the side. We're gonna shift you to the center. Now, putting some gloves on. So we're gonna mix this bad boy up. And put some black pepper in here. Okay. Now, mix all of this dry rub together. And we're going to sear this on the stovetop, which, you know what? Let's go ahead and get that hot. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, time to dry rub. I just sprinkle it in. Remember, I salted this first before I let it sit out. Get it in all the little nooks and crannies here. I could do 2 hands worth of gloves, but you know, I'm just standing here. If I had a drink, I'd be drinking it while I'm cooking, because that never led to anything bad. Getting that bone now. Oh, I'm just making a mess. Now, like, I'm gonna clean. Yeah. All right. Do another pass. Make sure it's caked in there. Got a little, look at that, see? See, 2 hands would have been better. 2 hands are always better than 1. I'm gonna make the biggest mess possible. And answer down in the comments, how many minutes do you think it took me to clean all this up? I'll know by the time this posts. 5 minutes, 2 minutes, a minute and a half? Did I pawn it off to someone else that's still pregnant right now? I don't think so. I don't think so. Look at this beauty. Look at that beauty, huh? All right, and our liquid is boiling. Why don't you come on over and we'll take a look. Look at this beauty. Look at this liquid just boiling. Now, what we're gonna do is take my gloves off. We're gonna toss in some guajillo peppers. I'm putting in 4. These are the peppers you might see people selling on the side of the road during Christmas. Grab them. Grab them. I got some dried bay leaves here. Okay. Put about 4 in there. You can use fresh bay leaves, but you know, what are you gonna do with the bay leaves the rest of the time that you're not cooking with them, huh? Put in 1 star anise. I've already got fennel seed. Star anise is gonna give it more of a licoricey flavor. I'm gonna put in 4 cinnamon sticks. 1, 2, 3, 4. And about a tablespoon of celery seed. Okay. Mix this up. Now I'm gonna drop this to a low temp. Okay. All right, now I seared this on the pan. You probably missed the last section because I cut it out because holy crap, was that pan too hot. But we got a nice sear on the outside, we got in the braising liquid. We are gonna put the lid on and we're gonna cook this on low heat for about 4 to 5 hours. Now, let's go check out that salsa. And now we're back with the cocktail. Now, this is the Fiery Passion something. You all needed to name it in the other video that I should have just dropped, or it comes out next week. However, we missed an ingredient, didn't we? Yeah, we missed an ingredient, probably because I forgot to bring it over when I filmed it. Would it make it better? I don't know. This is pretty dang good. We're gonna roll with this right now while we make our salsa. So, get the big knife because all the others are dirty. We're doing a green salsa mainly because my kiddo has an allergy to tomatoes, which sucks. Amongst other things, cashews, pistachios, but tomatoes really, really sucks because I love cooking with tomatoes. So today, we're gonna do a green salsa so it goes on the tacos and he can eat everything without any qualms or problems. We're gonna start with tomatillos as our base. These are not green tomatoes, these are tomatillos. It's a type of nightshade. We're gonna roast these in this pan with some peppers, some garlic, some onion, olive oil, salt, pepper. That's it, just as the baseline, and we're gonna mix everything into a blender with the rest of our ingredients. So first, we're gonna start, just gonna halve these and toss them in, okay? And I got the oven cooking. I got the oven heating up to temp, bringing it up to about 400 degrees Fahrenheit. In Celsius, that's about 26 degrees Celsius. So I'm American, and that's how we convert things. All right. Now, why are we using white onion? Let me explain that to you. Person who asked that question, which was me. Typically, in Mexican cuisine or Latin cuisine, they're both not the same thing. You use white onion rather than any other type of onions, typically. And so when you go to Taco Bell and you open up that bean and cheese burrito and you see that there's a bunch of white onion in there, they didn't use the white onion because they're trying to be cheap, Taco Bell. They're using it because it's typically what you use. Now I got a pasilla pepper here. Look, now I've got, just gonna have that as well. Put the whole thing in here. These are not too spicy. If you're concerned about the spice level of this, haha, I missed it. I'm gonna peel that right out. The pasilla peppers are not very spicy. Next, I got some jalapenos. We're gonna put 4 jalapenos in there. Now, jalapenos are gonna go up in spice just a little bit from the pasillos, but once again, not too spicy. Now, if my video editors are awesome, they might put a spice chart on the screen here to show the Scoville units of different peppers. I think jalapeno is around 2,000 Scoville units, which is not too bad, because next, I got some serranos here. I got 5 serrano peppers. Just gonna toss the whole things in after chopping off the tops. Boop, 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 boop. All right, now onion, I'm only gonna use about half of this onion. We'll use the other half of the onion for the tacos. I'm gonna rough chop it. Now you'll notice, as I do this, I'm not cutting the root. That's important. You don't want to cry when you cut onions, don't cut the root off. A lot of people, they just chop that root off and cast it aside. Well, now you're letting all those cry oils come out, all that emotion, okay? That's emotion from this onion. It's sad that it was plucked. It's sad that it's in your kitchen. And if you suck at cooking, it's gonna be sad in the dish that you put it in. Now, rough chop. Okay, whoop. We're just gonna sprinkle this throughout. All right, just a couple cloves. Boop, boop. Once again, rough chop. This is getting roasted, so it doesn't need to be, you know, microplaned or anything like that. Just want to get it spread throughout. Sprinkle that in as well, and get my trusty salt. Throw some salt in here. Oh, and that's the oven, up to temp. Am I even on screen? Let's put something over here. I don't know, maybe it's a goat dancing a jig, or maybe it's Elizabeth doing something stupid. Maybe it's me doing something stupid, I don't know. But I realize that this portion of the screen is not being used right now. And we're gonna toss this in uncovered into a 400-degree oven. And I am gonna let this roast for about an hour, and we'll be right back. Maybe this will be gone by then. Should I drink something else? What should I make? Maybe a mocktail? Maybe just a beer. Let's do a beer. We're gonna do a beer when we come back. Actually, I probably won't do this on screen, but I'm gonna pickle some radishes, because I got about an hour cooking here. We've still got about 3.5 hours cooking here, maybe 3 hours. Gotta check the time. I'm gonna pickle some radishes for the tacos, and I'll talk about that later. Right now, let's have an intermission. Intermission music, go. Well, that was a sweet intermission, huh? And now I finished that cocktail, and I've got some beer. Got to, you know, because we got the kilt on. All right, I'm gonna set this to the side. Now, right now, got on my mandolin. We're going to do some pickled radishes. I debated whether or not I do this on screen. We're just gonna do it. I got the pickling liquid in there, and we're just going to mandolin this up. I always get nervous with the mandolin. I'm gonna slice my hand off. We'll turn it like this, you can see. I'm doing it nice and thin. It's gonna pickle faster this way, and you're not gonna get that really strong radish flavor in the tacos, but it's still gonna be enough. And it's gonna be a little crunchy still. Don't want to go too thick. And I ain't going crazy here. I do have a guard, but famous last words. Do I really need a guard? Do I really need a guard? So I got some thyme in here. I'm gonna drop those in. Whoop! Okay. Drop these in. Let's do a few more radishes here. I just have this setting set to 1. No biggie. And then the pickling liquid, I usually use about a cup of water, a cup of white vinegar, and then I toss in there some fennel seed. Let's see here, what did I put in there today? A little bit of fennel seed. What else? Oh, some crushed red pepper, some celery seed, and then about a tablespoon of sugar and a tablespoon of salt. There we go. It's ready to go. Just gonna pour this in. Glug, 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 glug. And we're gonna let this sit for about 2 hours, which is about when we start to assemble the tacos. I'm gonna put this in the fridge for now. It's gonna start pickling. Nice little transition here. Let's clean. We're cleaning and throwing things. All right, we are taking out of the oven, shift this to the side. We are taking the our salsa out of the oven. Look at this beauty. So I roasted up for about an hour at 400. It's ready to go into the blender. I'm gonna get a little spatula here to help scoop things out. Okay. All of this liquid, everything is going in. So that's good to go. I am also putting in this cilantro. I got a whole head of cilantro here. Coriander, if you're not in the United States or elsewhere that uses the word cilantro. Just chopping up the head. All right, I'm gonna toss this in first. It's gonna, I like it a little bit of cilantro-y. This is all the stem and stalk. I don't need this. And then we're gonna bring over our lime juicer. We're gonna juice these limes up. I talked in one of my cocktail videos. You wanna make sure you get the limes with the blemishes on it. I don't know if you can still see me over there. The limes with the blemishes on it, the sunspots and stuff, those are the juicy ones. Those are the nice, good limes. You don't wanna get the really dark limes. That doesn't mean that they're full of flavor. That means they haven't ripened yet, and they're not gonna ripen in your kitchen. They're gonna ripen on the tree. So if they've already been picked and they're super dark green and they're hard in the store, leave them. Don't buy them. They will never get you the results of what you're looking for. All right. All is beautiful lime juice from 2 limes. I'm pouring that right in. Whew. That goes bye-bye. Let's put the glove back on. Have some more beer. Woo! All right. I'm gonna spoon this in at first so I don't slop it everywhere because I got some big peppers here. Actually, you know, let's be smart about this. Let's drop it down 12 inches. Sometimes you don't need 12 inches. Sometimes that's just a little bit too much.
What do you mean by that?
All right. Okay, almost all the time it's too much. What are we still talking about here? Blenders. Get the rest of it in there. Boom, boom, boom. All right. Set this on here. Here we go. Now I like a rough chop sometimes, but sometimes I like it really fine. Let's see what we got today. Hope if I actually push the button. There we go. I know what I'm doing. I'm a professional. Okay, this is gonna need some salt. Even though we salted it, I'm gonna get a taste test. Should I have had a spoon ready to taste this? Yes, I should have. Ooh. Well, that's good. It's got a little bit of a kick to it. And 2 big pinches of salt. It's got a little bit of a kick to it because I use those serranos. There we go. Mix it up. Now let's say you made this and you said, Kirk, this is too spicy for me. Cool. Put some crema in there. Put some avocado, something to mute the flavor a little bit of the spice. That to me is perfect. It's the right consistency, a little bit of chunky. Might be too spicy for my wife and my kid tonight, so this might be just for me. But I have other options for them. We'll be good to go. All right, and now we're just waiting for that bad boy to finish. We're gonna plate. It's gonna be glorious. And here we go, ready to assemble. I just took the pork shoulder off the heat. Save us from moving around. Look at this bad boy. And that bone, just pull right out. Just bang it, boom. Look at that. Look at that beauty. Let's stick it to the side here. I'm gonna take a big chunk of this out. There we go. Put it in the bowl. I unfortunately used my big bowl, my big glass bowl here for the salsa. Kind of made a lot of it. Now let's put some of this braising liquid in here. That's the juice and the good stuff. Look how thick that is. Look how thick, dark liquid. Absolutely beautiful flavor. And this is gonna go into our tacos here. See, I should have used a bigger bowl. But you know what? Y'all want to see me struggle sometimes. Maybe I'll plan better next time. Maybe I won't be such a goofball. There we go. Oh, it's beautiful. Put a little bit more of that liquid in there. Move this back to the stove top. Now, I've got some tortillas that are being warmed up. Move over my radishes. I got my beer, which is almost gone. Woo! Let's see here. Now, any sort of tortillas that you're using, corn or flour, you want to warm it up. You want the lard or the fat inside the tortilla to become a little bit more malleable. So when you put food in there and you bend it, for whether it's a burrito or taco, it's gonna bend and it's not gonna crack and split, especially with corn tortillas. It tends to do that. Here we go. I'm just warming these up real fast. These beautiful homemade, handmade tortillas. Whew! Simple. Just putting in some of this beautiful braised pork. The spices come out, cardamom, the cinnamon, just all of the beauty of what's in there. All right. I'm gonna put a little bit of this salsa, the green salsa that we made. Okay. Bing, bang, boom. I'm gonna spill this on the countertop too, just because you absolutely should do that. Make a mess when you're cooking. The more of a mess you make, the busier it makes you look that you were. Put some of the cotija cheese on here, like so. All right, got a little bit of the cilantro or coriander, whatever you use or however you say it, where you're from. Coriander, cilantro, put that in there. Actually, sound off in the comments below. I'm not entirely sure. What do you call it where you're from? Do you call it coriander or do you call it cilantro? And my pickled radishes here. before we take a bite, we're gonna go pull the camera over here for a nice little shot of these tacos. Now, of course, a moment of truth, the taste test, we're gonna transfer these to a plate so I don't drip sauce all over the leftover cheese I have here. These are absolutely, they look gorgeous. They look absolutely gorgeous. Oh my God. They're juicy, they're flavorful, they're spicy with the salsa. The cheese is coming through right now. The saltiness of the cheese, the pickled radishes, still a little crunch there too. And you saw, I just creamed all over my plate here. It's damn good. This is what a taco should be. 3 bites and it's gone. Love you guys. Remember, I'm no Gordon Ramsay. I just have to feed my wife.